Hey there, welcome. If you're curious about the IB PYP or you're new to it, then you're in the right place. Today, I'm going to show you why the PYP is an incredible choice for your child. A quick disclaimer, I would first like to say that this presentation is adjusted from these slides made by Cindy Blackburn from Toddle. I am not connected with Toddle in any way, but I'm grateful to them for all the resources that they make available that help many teachers around the world learn how to improve their practices. Additionally, I'm not connected to the IB. The resources attributed to them here are freely available on their website, and my current understanding of the programs come from my years as a student, as a teacher, and as a curriculum coordinator over the course of my career. As an IB practitioner, we are always learning, and so I hope to help others on their journey. So here's a question for you. What's the most important thing for your child to learn? Think beyond grades. What skills or values do you want them to have as adults? I heard an education researcher by the name of Alfie Kohn begin a lecture by asking this question when he was giving a talk about the value or lack of value of grading systems and their effect on children. He said that most families say that they want their child to be happy, confident, loved, show resilience and ambition. This is what the IB is built for, and the PYP is the first step along that journey. So let's think about the future of work. Did you know that 65% of today's kids will work in jobs that don't even exist yet? This was in 2016, before the AI boom, so it makes you think what that number looks like now. That's why education needs to be about more than memorizing facts. It's about preparing kids for the unknown, building their confidence, strengthening their skills, and galvanizing a growth mindset. We cannot know what is coming. The PYP focuses on inquiry-based learning, basically teaching kids how to think instead of what to think. This creates problem solvers who can adapt, no matter what the future brings. Imagine your child studies their whole life to learn a high-paying trade. Countless sleepless nights, overwhelming stress. Then one day, they finally step out into the job market and find that there are AI models that can do that job even better than they can. Will your child be able to pivot, to be adaptable, to continue to find a niche where they can provide value? To do that requires immense maturity, resilience, and self-belief. If your child has gone through an IB education, their chances of pulling through might be greater. The PYP is where curiosity meets challenge. It's student-centered, academically rigorous, and built on global best practices in education. Please take a look at the IB research and PYP key findings pages for some detailed research, analysis, and case studies. So what's the bigger goal? The IB wants to create inquiring, knowledgeable, and caring young people. It's about shaping compassionate, open-minded citizens who value and crave learning throughout their lives. So why is the IB PYP really good for this? Well, it's because it's about more than academics. It's about helping your child to grow into their best self. I would like to highlight my top 3 reasons from this page, the first being number 3, confident communicators. This crucial skill helps students advocate for themselves and believe in their own abilities. Next, number 4, learning how to learn. Knowledge of oneself is among the most valuable, and knowing how best your particular mind takes things in and processes it to get the best outcome is like having a superpower in this world. And lastly, number 6, different perspectives, because being a good listener is being able to understand the mental matrix that others construct for themselves from their environment and influences is a key to world peace. At the heart of the PYP is the IB learner profile. Qualities like being an inquirer, a thinker, and caring. This is theoretically a blueprint for the ideal human. These aren't just classroom goals, they're life skills, they're dispositions, they are ways of being and moving through life. I've never met a human who does this all perfectly, but it's great to have something to strive for. By the end of their journey, students know these off by heart and are constantly reflecting on how they are doing as they strive towards these goals. A big part of the PYP is learning through action. It's said that to build wisdom, one needs a mixture of knowledge and experience. In the PYP, students are encouraged to connect their learning to their personal lives through action that can be taken in many different ways. So a big part of the PYP is this idea of concept-based inquiry. It is a mixture of two things. First is inquiry learning, using the inquiry cycle, which is basically just the scientific process rebranded. This leads students through a natural process of observation, questioning, research, experimenting, concluding, and finally reflecting. And the hope is that through lots and lots of repetition, this cycle, this way of thinking becomes programmed into their minds and is able to be used throughout their life. The next thing is concept-based learning, and this focuses on highlighting the connections between the things that we learn. Sometimes students will be learning different content from their peers, and so we try to make sure students highlight the conceptual connections between the different pieces of content that grab students' interests. In the PYP, kids have agency. They get a voice, they get choice, and ownership over their learning journey. This is easy to start but difficult to do well. Teachers generally try to accomplish this by bringing students into the planning and reflecting process, by brainstorming topics or lesson ideas together, giving choice of expression of learning, perhaps co-constructing some success criteria, or evaluating and reflecting together. This builds confidence in their own decision-making abilities, which is very crucial and equips them for a life of adapting to challenges. Now, is the PYP rigorous? When you think of this word rigor, chances are that images of studying hard late into the night, preparing for an examination, pop into your mind. This is usually because this is what we have experienced growing up. But I ask you this, what is more challenging? Memorizing information for regurgitation in an examination, or using a combination of knowledge and experience to develop a creative solution to a real-world problem, and then trying to convince a room of smart people that your idea is the one that we should try first, which opens you up to public criticism from which you may have to pick yourself up from, dust yourself off, and do it all again. The difference? It connects learning to real-world problems, making it meaningful, lasting, and transferable. A key part of rigor in the PYP is assessment. PYP teachers are very skilled and subtle in that students don't necessarily feel like they're being assessed when they are. This makes the data that we gather from students more authentic and the feedback more tailored to the students' actual needs. Assessments aren't just about tests. They're about demonstrating understanding and growth, giving and receiving kind feedback and putting it into action. It's a holistic approach that celebrates what your child can do with what they've learned and how they can continue to level up. This is mostly done through monitoring learning through various means as it happens, with measuring, documenting, and reporting in order to make decisions about next steps. Okay, so hopefully I've convinced you and you want to become a PYP family. How can you support your child? Here are my top 5 tips. Number 1, use the learner profile words at home. These words get ingrained into the students' minds, and making sure that you use them each and every day helps them to reflect on their own learning and through their journey. Number 2, know your child's central idea and lines of inquiry. This is usually freely available on the websites of schools that you go to, and you can see the stories that the students are looking into and the questions that they're asking throughout the day. Next, go on trips together. Talk about what you're learning in class. Point things out. Have ideas. Discuss problems. As you're going out and you are exploring the world around you, make connections to what the students are doing in class. This will help you to understand what the students are going through and to be able to help them to think through these problems. If your class goes on a field trip, offer to help. Maybe you can give ideas to teachers. They really would appreciate any involvement that you might have. And lastly, look for examples and opportunities for action in your local community. Action is one of the key parts of the PYP, making sure that we take the knowledge and we turn it into experience so that we grow with wisdom. Now remember, action doesn't necessarily have to be going out into the community and making a change, or going and picking up trash somewhere, or making a donation, or helping somewhere. All those things are great, but you can also take action in your own home and within yourself by changing the way you think, by changing your routine around the house, anything that can help bring the students' learning and knowledge into the real world. And so well done, you did it. You've begun your journey. I hope you found this helpful. We look forward to learning and growing with you as your journey continues. All the best.